Hi everybody, this is Rune. Welcome to this next video in the beginner tutorial series. I thought that it would be really good to maybe just do a quick recap of all the commands that we learned so far. Not least because I think we should make them into aliases so that we have some really quick shortcuts. And I don't know if you've been using all the buttons up here to click the commands or if you've been typing along with me, but I think it's a really good thing to get into aliases. So let's just do a quick overview of the commands we've learned so far. We've been using these commands so far. Now let's just go through them all so that we can see what exactly they do. Line, I'll just type it in, line. I click to get the start of my line and I click for the end of my line. That's probably the most basic drawing you can do in Rhino. A line that connects 2 points. I can move this line. So I select a point to move from. It can either be a point on the line, at the end of the line, or it can be anywhere. So I'm going to move, and I move it in a certain direction, a certain length. I can also copy my line, copy, and again, same as move, I can click anywhere, and then copy my line. And if I continue clicking, I'll copy more of them. And I have to press enter or escape or space when I'm done copying. Then we have rotate. That one's quite obvious. We choose the center of rotation, so that could be the end of this line. We choose the angle we want to rotate, so I could type in, let's say, 15, and then it would rotate it 15 degrees. I can also do it by clicking, so selecting this end and rotating it. Now I have ortho on, so that's why it's snapping like this. Then we've learned offset. So I can offset my line, creating a parallel line. We've learned trim, so that we can select intersecting lines and trim them where they intersect each other. We've learned extend, where we can select the boundary we want to extend to and then select the curve we want to extend, and it hits that boundary. We've learned scale, so that I can select my drawing and I can type scale, select a base point and another point, and then I can scale it larger. Using scale, I can also say I want this to be 2 times larger. Then I would just click once and type 2 and enter, and I would have scaled my geometry up by 2. Then we can join if we have geometry that's meeting at the ends. We can select them both and we can type join. And now this is one curve that's joined together. And then we've learned how to lock so that we can't select it. And we've learned to type unlock so that we can select it again. Now let's say we want to be smart about this. We want to make some aliases for these commands. So I've typed a little list over here of what I think the beginner aliases should be. Follow along with me and we'll make these aliases. First we go out to the File menu, we select Properties. Inside the Properties panel we click Aliases, and then we create new ones by clicking New here. So I'll just start by clicking New, and I'll say L, and I want L to be line. I want M to be move, but wait, M is already move, so we're golden there. Then I want C to be copy. C right now is a selection command. I don't want it to be that, so I'm just going to change this to copy. Then I want R to be rotate, so I'm just tabbing to go into the next. I'll write rotate. I want F to be offset. I want T to be trim. Trim. I want E to be extend. S to be scale. S right now is set to snap. I want that to be scale instead. And then I want J to be join. J, join. All right, so far so good. We'll click OK. And now we can use all these commands by just typing in that one letter. So let me type C for copy. I'll select that one, and then I can copy that. So hopefully you can see why that's really clever and how that can speed up your drawing. So it's a really good thing to get used to using these aliases. One thing that I like to talk about that I haven't mentioned yet is snaps. Down in the bottom left of your screen, you can see these checkboxes, which 2 of them are checked. This is the Object Snap options. And right now I have end and near ticked. That means when I'm doing a command such as line, so I press L and enter, you can see that I can snap to the end, or I can go near this line. Some of the other snap options that you should know are mid. So if I tick mid, that means that I can actually snap to the exact mid of an object. Another really important one is int, that is intersection option snap. If I tick int and make a line, then I can snap to the intersection between 2 curves or other geometry. Another one which is really good to know is perp, perpendicular. Perp comes in handy when you're not drawing orthogonal geometry. So let's say that I have a line, and I'll just turn off ortho, a line that goes here, and I want to draw a line that goes in and hits this line perpendicularly. So if I type line again, or L, perp snaps, you can see it snaps to a 90-degree angle, to a perpendicular angle to that line. Object snaps, or accidentally disabling your object snaps, either clicking on disable here or clicking on O-snap down here, can be some of the most frustrating things if you don't know what you're doing in Rhino. So keep an eye on what you're snapping to. That'll make it a lot easier. Right now, I'm just gonna disable anything but end and near. And I'm gonna turn on ortho again by clicking down here, ortho. Now, the final thing I want to talk about is SmartTrack, because you might have noticed that this blue icon and these helping lines have come up when you've been drawing. SmartTrack can be really handy, but it can also be really, really annoying. So much so that I actually prefer to keep it off. But it does have its advantages. Let me show you an example. Let's say I want to make a line starting from this point and only going as far as these 3 lines over here. Then I can use my SmartTrack to snap to that point and know that I'm within this line. So it's kind of an automatic guideline based on your object snaps. Again, it can be really handy, but it can also be really annoying. So I would actually recommend you to turn it off. This way we won't be distracted by blue dots and helping lines. All right, I hope you're enjoying the tutorial videos and things aren't moving too fast. Always remember that you can go back and try and follow along in your own pace. Follow along in the next video where we're going to start drawing the doors and the windows for our house. Goodbye.